Speaking of, what is it?
What is what?
Spotted.
I don't have a clue, mate. What is it?
Like, what is it? Like, in terms of, like, the food. I know it's some kind of pudding. Unorthodox reactions, unorthodox intros. Welcome back, guys.
This guy has just gotten me so tired. Oh my god, bro.
Relax, pause, freaking out. What's wrong with you?
You're the only one to ever think of that. They were not thinking that. Anyways, guys, welcome back to another
Out of
Unorthodox reaction.
context.
We are back again with another, you guessed it, reaction. This time we are reacting to...
Oversimplified.
Alright, then.
The Pig War. The Clone Wars, the Pig Wars. Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and the Pig Wars.
Just so you... Okay, it's going to be a two-part. I'm just telling you now.
Yeah, the video is kind of mad long, so...
We know ourselves, so...
It's gonna take a while. We need like a break in between, you know, a quick snack.
Yeah, exactly. Quick Kit Kat.
Without further ado...
Video sponsored by Kit Kat. Have a break,
Hey, Kit Kat, if you want to sponsor. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
This video was made possible by NordVPN.
You sure it's not Kit Kat?
Stay safe online and get a huge discount off a 2-year plan with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Definitely Kit
Trouble
Kat.
sleeping? Need someone to snuggle? Then why not snuggle? Me, the limited edition.
Oh, I was like, where's this going?
For pre-order for a few days
Yeah,
only.
same.
Get it quick along with some beautiful new character pins.
That's actually pretty good. If I had money, I would buy one.
We've only gone and bloody done it. We beat the Brits and secured independence. Now to expand westward and conquer the rest of the continent. Thomas? It looks like a bunch of different people already live out west. What? No, that means we can't expand. I hate my life. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't say they were white people.
God dang it. The Pig War.
At the end of the Revolutionary War, when the United States secured its independence from Great Britain, the two sides met in Paris to settle the terms. Among various things, they discussed American territorial gains, and the British granted them a generous amount of land out west. However, Benjamin Franklin appeared to have an additional fascination. Oh, Canada. So voluptuous. You think we can maybe acquire some of that? Quit ogling our territory. But look at those curves. I'd worry less about Canada's curves and more about your own curves, Benjamin.
Oh!
Suggested that one day the Canadian colonies should become a part of the United States. In response, Britain suggested that many in America should shut the hell up. Well, if Britain wasn't going to give up Canada, then the two sides had to agree on where to put their border. Easy enough for the most part. Follow some existing borders, add in a few rivers and lakes, maybe even a parallel for good measure. But then there was a question. What would happen here?
Oh, is that just land?
Straight line, straight line. And so it was. The border would go from the northwesternmost point of this perfectly oval-shaped lake and continue in a straight line westward until it met the Mississippi River. Perfect. Or was it? Well, as it turned out, the lake didn't actually look like this, but like this. And the Mississippi wasn't here, but here. So in the end, none of that made even the slightest bit of sense.
Okay.
The founding fathers, they were just using the best
Bro, that's
map
a
available.
sick looking map, I'm not gonna lie.
But to the minds of the day,
Confusing
the
though.
issue had been solved, and it was finally time to start getting along. Oh, back to war they go. The glorious War of 1812
Why?
saw the Americans try to invade Canada, and the British burned down the White House. But when all was said and done, it was pretty much a draw. And once again, America and Britain had to enter into peace negotiations. By now, both sides realized the original border they came up with was a piece of hot garbage. And since America had also recently obtained a huge amount of land from Napoleon, they decided they would need to re-examine the border issue.
Yeah.
Straight line. So it was. To fix the problems of the previous border agreement, they decided to go from the northwesternmost point of this lake, as had been previously agreed, down to the 49th parallel, and from there the line would go straight as an arrow up until the Rocky Mountains. But beyond the Rockies, the two sides couldn't quite agree on where it
Is that
would
even
next,
their land though?
because both sides claimed the territory beyond the Rockies was theirs.
Okay.
See, throughout its early history,
Straight line,
America
bro.
as a nation had its eyes heavily fixated on
I
all
can
that
see the
juicy
American...
land out
Can you
west,
see it?
ripe for invasion.
Nah.
How American...
Sedimentation. America wanted to expand. Not
Yeah. Can you not see how America became? Look at it. So, like, if you go back, You can see it. So they ended up taking all of that. You can see.
They can't see your hands.
Oh,
mouth
sorry
looking
guys.
out.
Sorry. I'm so African. They end up doing this, and this becomes the whole of the United States there. So they're like, yep, we'll just take all of this. That was their
Yeah, that's what
long-term
I'm saying.
plan.
Straight line.
Yeah, that was their long-term plan. So they were like, we don't own this yet, but
Just in case.
just for the future reference, we'll just take all of this. And then they were just like, cool.
Not only was it their right, some believed it was a destiny given to them by God himself to multiply and spread across the continent, like rats or disease. Okay, guys, just before we take over everything, God definitely said this is what we're meant to do, right?
Yeah.
Of course, because we can hear him.
It was
It was
one of the
Billy,
white guys.
right?
There's no way we made this whole thing up to justify Ruby's collective imperialist tendencies. All right, well, in that case, let's get out there and make the world a better place, just as God intended.
But is he wearing a Russian star hat?
Oh,
No, dang.
they
they
smacked the
killing the
McDonald's.
The divinely destined expansion would
This is
later be given
mine.
its very own name, Manifest Destiny. But America wasn't the only one interested in controlling the Western territories. At the time,
Portugal?
Canada was made up of a number of colonies, collectively referred to as British North America. This one over here was owned by the Hudson's Bay Company, a British charter
I
company
believe
dedicated to turning as
Spain
many
was
beavers
there
as possible
too.
into as many felt hats as possible as quickly as
Oh,
possible.
snap.
And the indigenous people became a key supplier. As a result, the British were also eager to control the land out west and secure that region's valuable resources. And in particular, the Great Columbia River was deemed vital to the beaver business. So when it came to the question of what would happen to the border beyond the Rockies, the conversation went a little like this. The line should keep going straight because we're manifestly destined
Yeah.
to gain the entire North American continent. No, we need this river so we can keep scalping beavers. Look, why don't we just draw the border along the river? That way we both have access to it.
That would actually
That would
make
be a completely
sense.
fair compromise
Yeah.
that protects
But
interests
you know
of
America
both
wouldn't
Yeah,
do
they
that.
did not
and
do.
there's no way I'm ever gonna agree to it. Having come to a roadblock, both sides simply agreed that for now, they would jointly occupy the
Oh.
That's a
Northwest
terrible
They were
idea.
both free to set
There's
free.
no way they're
But
gonna
rest assured,
get
the
along.
agreement was only temporary.
It's gonna end. It's probably gonna end up being like that India and Pakistan thing, where they kept moving their own borders.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
in the night when the other person wasn't looking.
Like, no one's gonna.
Eventually, somebody would get their way. Listen, Yank, we can jointly occupy this land, but I ain't sharing anything else. I don't want to see you using my toothbrush. I don't want to catch you wearing my underwear. And I don't want to catch you using my computer and selling my data to advertisers. Well, then you, my friend, should use NordVPN.
Ah, I knew it.
Wait, he says Canada, but he keeps using the British flag.
Yeah, because Britain, Britain and United States or America took over like a lot of countries, innit? So
Well,
they didn't become
Britain
Canada.
controlling Canada.
Yeah, Canada didn't get its independence until later on.
Okay.
So it was like a Britain thing, innit? It was like a British land.
Do you like giving strangers your passwords to your most important online accounts?
100%.
Me neither. And that's why I use NordVPN. NordVPN has thousands of secure servers in over 60 countries, allowing you to safely surf the net at the fastest speed possible. It works across all your devices, so you're
Can we
protected
skip?
on
Are
the
we
go,
skipping
even
this?
6 of them simultaneously.
He's making
And it's
sense so
super
far,
easy to use.
so
With just the click of a button, you can head on over to South Korea.
he's not
and
internet
every single
historian,
BTS video
but
known to mankind. With NordVPN,
He's
you
trying,
won't
isn't
need
he?
to
Yeah.
follow those shady websites. And
See,
no
he's even got
pop-ups.
memes and stuff in there.
Spying on your browsing history. And you can even unlock content that's been blocked in your country, like this video. It even comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So why not go to nordvpn.com/oversimplified to get
I guess it wasn't fully annoying.
NordVPN.
an additional month for free. And as always,
You heard him. Subscribe.
So thank you.
I'm gonna eventually download
Like-
NordVPN, you know.
Nah, there's other VPNs out there that's way less expensive, so it just kind of feels.
Are you advertising another VPN?
No, that's why I didn't say any names.
Okay.
Come on, I'm be professionals at this already.
We don't
advertise for free. For free? Come on now.
Pay me some money.
Manifesting destiny and a joint occupation of Oregon. And one man living here who felt the territory should
Well,
be
Vancouver.
British was James Douglas, the Hudson's Bay Company's no-nonsense chief factor at Fort Vancouver. Ah, what a beautiful, unspoiled corner of the British Empire. I've got my spotted dick, my Spice Girls fan club membership, and an
Speaking of, what is it?
What is what?
Spotted.
I don't have a clue, mate. What is it?
Like, what is it? Like, in terms of, like, the food. I know it's some kind of pudding, but what is it made from, of? If anyone knows, let us know in the comments.
We'll just research it later before you guys can even let us know. But
Yeah,
no,
but
let
it's
us know.
really
Sorry.
nice.
Sorry, let us know. I won't.
Sometimes I prefer, like, people's explanations better than the
Alright,
internet, because it's just,
Just say you like having conversations.
yeah.
Yeah, same. 100%.
spotted dick, my Spice Girls fan club membership, and an unrelenting negative outlook on life that affects everyone around me. What are you looking at, Stephen? Yes, truly British.
The rainbow in the background.
What the? The problem for men like Douglas was that many Americans had already begun streaming up the Oregon
Oh,
Trail,
the Oregon Trail.
slinging, howdy neighboring, and diarrhea. By the thousands, they were pouring into the Oregon Territory in search of land to settle and farm. This, however, crowded out the fur trade, and eventually, a very bitter Douglas and the other Hudson's Bay traders at Fort Vancouver were ordered to relocate north to a new base of operations.
Fort
But the
Victoria.
Americans keep coming, and they don't stop coming. Hopped into
That's what I'm
wagons and made a
saying.
running. Didn't make sense to keep sharing Oregon when they outnumbered the Brits more than 6-1. And
Dang.
suddenly, the whole joint occupation deal was being called into question. Newly elected President Polk maintained that America had an obvious claim to
Freaking
the
hell, it
entire
looks half
region,
dead
even
already.
implying a possible war with Britain. Fiery language from U.S. senators declared that American rifles would annihilate the Hudson's Bay Company in Oregon, and America even gave Britain notice that it was pulling out of the joint occupation agreement. The British were alarmed as the two sides stood on the brink of war. But in the end, neither truly wanted to fight. The British favored maintaining good economic relations, while the Americans had already gotten themselves into a war with
Mexico.
So after a bit of back and forth, the British finally said, "Fine, you wanted a straight line? There's your straight line." And so, the agreement was made. The border would continue directly to the Strait of Georgia. But because the British insisted they keep Vancouver Island, it would then move south through the center of the channel and on to the Pacific Ocean. Finally, the issue
So who owns the
Northwest
Pacific
border
Ocean?
had been
I'm
solved.
playing.
Hold the phone. Discrepancy detected. Enhance frame, 200%.
Oh, there's like small ass island.
Enhance.
Oh wait, what?
Too far. Perfect. Now, show me the exact wording of the treaty. The line of boundary goes to the middle of the channel, and then
It's separate.
southerly through the middle of said channel. But there's loads of channels. So
Pick
you
one,
tell
I
me, dear
guess.
viewer, which channel is the treaty referring to? And therefore, who owns these islands? Is the wording of the
America
treaty
does. They're
maybe a
greedy.
little too vague? Well, that's exactly the problem encountered by the people living in the area. The British insisted that the channel intended by the treaty was the Rosario Strait, and therefore
Of course
the
they
islands
would.
were British. The Americans, on the other hand, argued that the intended channel was the
I
Harrow
knew
Strait,
it.
and therefore the islands were American. At times, the debate became rather heated. Even the individuals who negotiated and signed the treaty
But were the islands valuable in any type of way? Because I feel like they're just being petty with this at that point.
It's America.
Yeah, but even the British though, like, what would be the advantage of fighting
But
for
the
it?
British have given up so much already. Next thing you know, they're gonna.
Yeah, so you might as well just give up a little bit more.
That's not how it works, bro. That's not how
Alright.
it. Next thing you know, they're gonna start asking for your house.
Yeah, and then you just be like, yes sir, right away sir.
No, see, you gotta stand your ground, people.
At
Stand
times,
your
Dennis
ground.
and Helen weren't sure which channel the treaty meant, and representatives from the Hudson's Bay Company begged them to make it clearer. But thousands of miles away, the people in power simply had more to worry about than some tiny islands in the middle of nowhere.
Order in the court.
All right, listen up. We got a lot to get through. The 7th Earl of Chissingham says he encountered a foul beast in the fields of Upper Fartingdom late last night and put this sketch together? That's a poor person, Darren. Ugh. Next, Lord Piddlingham says he has a new mole on his backside? How is that parliamentary business, George? Oh, some islands in the Pacific Northwest are in dispute and could lead to a war with America? Boring. ring. Fine. Let's take a look at that mole, George.
Yeah. Mo.
And so, for now, the islands were simply held in dispute. Were they British or were they American? I'm sure this conflict won't cause anyone to die. And one man who thought the islands were undeniably British was James Douglas.
No, of course he would.
Of Vancouver Island. He had already once had American settlers encroach on his territory and force him to move. And by golly, he wasn't going to let it happen again. As far as he was concerned, those islands were not only British, but prime agricultural land.
Ah, I see.
Those glubby Yanks wouldn't hesitate to start pitching flags with their glubby little hands. And so, he came up with a plan. If the British settled the islands first, then that would surely secure them.
That's not how that
So in
works.
1853,
America
Douglas
would
sent
not
an
let that
Irishman by
happen.
the name of Charles Griffin, along with some Hawaiian shepherds.
They basically live by the law of contracts or it didn't happen.
Who?
Just the Americans in
Yeah,
general.
100%.
Like, if you don't get them to sign a contract, they will literally go to war over anything.
Yeah.
And they'll probably won't say it right away. They'll just wait till it's convenient for them to go to war.
Even when they said, yeah, we'll split the land, they were like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, we won't. They're like, nah.
Yeah, now we change our mind.
Exactly.
To go set up a sheep farm on San Juan Island. And set up a sheep farm. They did. The place was rammed with sheep. 1,360
Dang.
to be exact. But within those flocks of woolly cowards could also be found a number of beautiful, prized Berkshire pigs.
Oh.
Porky, you look stunning. You're the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Okay.
Would you perhaps like to go to the island ball together tonight? Oink once for no. Roll around in that cow crap if yes. Yes! I'm covered in poo and I'm the luckiest man alive! But life on the island for Charles Griffin wasn't to be a perfect paradise of pig pageants. Because unfortunately for him, the Americans also believed the island was theirs. One day, in 1854, an American customs collector was sailing around the islands on the outlook for bands of native tribesmen when he spotted something. Aha! I've got you now, you savages. Over yonder. Those are sheep, sir. Sheep, you say? What are they doing here? Let's go and negotiate with them. Negotiate with sheep? Are you crazy? I'm perfectly stable, you rat bag! Call me crazy again and I'll eat your eyes! Hello, good sir. We request to speak with your leader. Out of my way. Allow me to parley with this foul beast. Hey, stop threatening my sheep. Your sheep?
Stupid.
You mean to tell me that you, a British subject, have illegally imported these sheep into American territory? I'll have you know that you, an American, are currently trespassing on British territory. The Americans felt that they were entitled to collect taxes on the British property, you know, because the island was American, and they threatened seizure if dues weren't paid. The British, meanwhile, threatened to arrest the Americans, you know, because the island was British, and the two sides were in a standoff. To give Charles Griffin the legal power to deal with the American trespassers, Douglas said, hey, put on this wig. Boom, you're a magistrate now. In return, Griffin went to one of his Hawaiian shepherds and said, hey, I'm making you a constable. Put on this badge. The British then went off to arrest the U.S. Customs Inspector. But, being an American, he emerged from his tent with 4 pistols and a giant knife, so the Brits had to back down. Eventually, raids by northern tribes chased the U.S. officer from the island, but the Americans weren't done yet. Officials from nearby Whatcom County in Washington Territory believed the island fell under their jurisdiction, and they decided it was time to make the British pay up once and for all. They sent one Sheriff Barnes to go confront Charles Griffin. Hey, you owe us $80.33 for all this.
That was a lot back then.
Yeah, facts.
Suck an egg. Oh, I see.
Is he gonna
that's
kidnap
how
his
it is,
pig?
huh? That's how it's gonna be, is it? That's the way in which things are, eh? That be how it will, is it? Will it be how that is, huh? That be the way in which things be the way they are.
Yes,
is it?
bruh.
Get off my property. So the sheriff and other Whatcom County officials felt they were now well within their rights to seize and auction off Griffin's sheep in order to recoup lost taxes. And who would they auction these prized breeding rams off to?
Americans.
But themselves. Then, in a pretty chaotic scene, they worked to tie the rams to their boats. And when Charles Griffin came running to rescue his kidnapped sheep, being Americans, they pulled out guns on him, and he had to back down.
Why were they not allowed to carry? The new Americans were carrying
Yeah,
guns.
but British don't believe in that.
Yeah, but why were they just there, like, defenseless and trying to argue with Reds?
Americans are
like
moist.
British people.
Americans are moist.
Charles Griffin lost 34 breeding rams. and he was furious.
He stood there and watched them.
Complained to the American
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
who were
Get
shocked
shot?
to hear what had been going
Probably.
on at the northwest border. And both governments told their officials in the area to back off. We're not trying to start a major war over some dumb sheep and a stupid island. But also, the islands are definitely ours. Under no circumstances let the other side have them. For now, both governments agreed to set up yet another boundary commission to decide which channel was the correct border. But it often devolved into petty bickering. The British did make one interesting suggestion, though. We could draw the border through this middle channel. and
Yeah,
split the
but
islands between
you're
us.
never gonna agree on that.
That would be a completely fair compromise that protects the interests of both parties.
America's
There's no way I'm ever gonna agree to it. And in the aftermath of the sheep raid, James Douglas, still stationed.
Just why is
And in the aftermath,
why is this little part belong to America?
Because it's part of the straight line.
But it makes no sense. Like, you're gonna have to cross this whole river just to get to this. Why don't you just give it to the British? It's just so
That's not how it
stupid.
works, man.
aftermath
Straight
of the
line.
sheep raid,
Yeah, straight line all the way to the river and then just leave it. Because then crossing just for this little part just seems kind of stupid.
Straight line, bro.
James Douglas, still stationed at Fort Victoria,
rules
became
are the
even more
rules.
cautious of American encroachment into his territory. Mr. Douglas, sir. It appears an Indian has discovered gold in the Fraser Canyon.
Oh.
Just north of here. Shut up! Keep your voice down, boy. We can't risk those glubby Americans hearing about this, or our territory here will be infested with them.
But they can't do that. That's British. Okay, now Britain have legal right to kick them out and go to war because that's definitely British territory.
The Fraser Canyon gold rush attracted a heap of Americans to the region. Some got lucky. Most did not. And of those that didn't, rather than returning all the way home, many simply decided to settle in the area. And in particular, the juicy green pastures of San Juan Island were rather appealing. Believing the island was American territory, around a dozen American settlers
I
moved
knew
there
it.
in the late 1850s. One of them was a man named Lyman Cutler, a young man in his mid-20s, and lazy as pie. He didn't want to have to clear a space in the forest to build his home, so he said, I'll just build my cabin right in the middle of this British sheep run. I'm sure that won't make anyone mad. When he planted potato seeds in his garden, rather than building a nice protective fence around them,
He just left it
I'll just
and
fence
the
it
sheep
up
ate
and
it.
all these British farm animals have a moral compass and respect my property rights. Griffin's pig was a Berkshire, well known for rooting, and Lyman's fairly pathetic fence made for a bad combination. Numerous times he had had to chase the pig away from his property, and he once angrily marched up to Griffin's home, saying, "Hey, British farm idiot, keep your stupid pig out of my potatoes. It is up to you to keep your potatoes out of my pig." Griffin
He's
was
not
furious
wrong,
with
though.
his new American neighbors.
Nice.
They built their homes all over his sheep pastures. And besides, what right did they have to be here anyway? It was British territory. Lyman, on the other hand, swore the local government had assured him his land claims were legitimate. And so to him, the British were out of line. Look at that sick freak. In love with his pig. Isn't that just sick? Yeah, what a freak. Not like our love, Spuddy. Ours is all natural. Yep, just a man and his potato. Nothing wrong with that. But the tension between Lyman and Griffin was just about to explode. What the?
Someone shoot something through his window.
Buddy? All right, you damn dirty pig.
No, he
That's
didn't.
the final straw.
Well, yeah, that's gonna cause a war, isn't it?
Lyman shot the pig.
Yeah.
After taking a second to calm down, he felt bad about murdering Griffin's prized boar. So he went to him and said, "Hey man, look, I kinda just killed your pig. It was eating my potatoes. I don't know, man, I kinda just killed your pig. Killed your pig."
Alright, so the fact that he actually came and apologized and came clean right away, would you have forgiven him? I don't know. It's
My
kind of
land,
tough.
they made him move. Remember, he moved
It's
once
kind of
already.
because in his eyes, he probably doesn't see it as like him being sorry. It's just kind of like
They made him
this
move
guy
once
killed my
already.
pig and now he's just boasting about it or something like that.
But they made him move once already.
What do you mean?
He had to move.
No, not him. The other guy. that
No,
had
it
to
was
move.
him.
No, it wasn't him. It was the other guy, the mayor guy.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
sent
it
him.
wasn't
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
But yeah, but at the same time, it's kind of like I don't know.
Nah, man.
Killed your pig. You swine! No, the swine is the one I killed. I'm Lyman. Griffin demanded Lyman pay $100 for the loss of the pig, an outrageous sum at the time. Obviously, Lyman refused, threatening to shoot any more animals that dared enter his property, even threatening to shoot Griffin himself. When Griffin complained to James Douglas, British officials went and confronted the pig killer. Again, they insisted he pay up, and if he didn't, Lyman claimed they threatened to arrest him and take him back to Victoria.
This is probably not like kind of a bit off base, but it just kind of came to my head as a question. If you had a chance to go back into like, let's say like early mid 1800s, with like so you have to get a job, and then 1 year's pay is how much however much you're allowed to take with you.
Oh
That
snap!
time
I'll
period.
be balling.
Say it.
I'll
Would
be
you do it?
hell yeah, bro. I'll be cake.
Because that would be bro. You basically be the
My whole
richest person
family.
in the
I'll
whole
be,
country.
bro. I might be one of the richest people in the world.
Exactly.
I would know. I would work non-stop.
You never have to work a day
I'm
in your
not buying
life.
anything.
You're buying a mansion. You're
Bro,
hiring
what?
assistants, mate.
Bro, the whole year I worked there, I'm not buying.
But at the same time, it's like there won't be like any technology or like
Yeah, true.
anything
What is the
modern or anything like that. So it's basically just gonna be like you're
Do you know
living
what?
out in the countryside.
Do you know what I say?
What?
Whorehouse, baby.
Nah, I don't know
I'm
if I could
joking.
do it. I don't
I
know
take
if
my
I could
phone
do it.
with me. Oh, there's
How
no
you gonna
to
charge it? That's so
Oh.
How you gonna charge it?
Oh, portable chargers. I'll buy a bunch of portable chargers.
How you gonna charge those? They're gonna
They're
run out
pre-charged
eventually.
already.
Yeah, they don't have infinite electricity.
Yeah, but you never say how long I had to live there.
What? Just for like 1 weekend? It's a one-way trip, bro.
Actually, I don't know if I'll go back there.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Should we end this video there?
Yeah, we could do. It's a good topic to end
All
on.
right,
Why
cool,
not?
guys. See you in
We
the
shall
next one.
see you in part 2.
Yeah.
So far, so good. I'm really enjoying the
No need for
artistic
outro, man. We'll see that in
of
part 2.
knowledge.
All right. See you guys in a bit.
In a bit.